Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking. This is our weekly masterclass where we talk about public speaking, how to be better speakers, how to use it to reach more people and make a difference in the world. And today is our very first day of this year, 2021. And a dear friend of mine and our dean has always said, make every day your January 1. Why wait until January 1 to start something new, to have a clean slate? You can have every day be January 1 if you want to. So today is our January 1, and we are going to start out by talking not only about speaking, and this is a class that all of you've seen, all of you've heard, but I am going to drive it in even deeper tonight because we are at the beginning of the year. Now, how many last week we did a whole planning of how many speaking engagements each of you were going to do, right? Now, CJ wasn't there, but many of you were, right? Who was here and got their plan? Speaking plan. Amen. All right. So good. Thank you. So already now it's the 5th of the month. We were 5 days into January. How many of you have done one speaking engagement yet? Awesome. Jackie, Jean, CJ, yay! Pat yourself on the back. So remember what you're going to do this year. Unlike any other year, you are going to keep track of every single speaking engagement. Number one, you have a goal for how many speaking engagements you're going to do. And number two, you're going to keep track. Now, I have not been keeping track. I mean, yeah, I know it's, 4 a month or whatever, but not really keeping track. So I've got a big wall calendar over here. And at the end of every single month, I'm going to put my total and circle it. And there it goes. So I know exactly where I am every month. So if I'm not close to my goal in like 3 months, I've got to do something and I've got time to do something. But if you wait till the end of the year and you find out, oh, your goal was 200 and you're like only at 90, it's too late to make it up. So let's go together. So every single end of the month, I'm going to take a poll and I'm going to ask each and every one of you, and you're going to put it in the chat, how many speaking engagements have you done? Now, it's not like good or bad or nothing. Yeah, that's cool. It's keeping track because what we focus on is what we get. So I just want to help you to focus on the speaking engagements, just like you would losing weight or just like you would, counting your money or whatever you're keeping track of. But let's do it for speaking engagement. Amen? Woo-hoo. Now, I'm lucky I get to do a speaking engagement tonight for an organization, a 30-minute one. Woohoo! So that would have made me two so far. All right, so for the 5th, that's pretty darn good. And Jean has 2, good. And CJ, how many do you have? What?
2 as of tonight. I'll have my second one tonight too.
Good. And again, it's just to, encourage the rest of you to step up. Now, Facebook Lives count. If you recall, there's Dr. Renee. Remember now, anytime you have 2 or more people and you speak for 1 minute or more, that you can count. So if you're doing your elevator speech or your self-introduction, that is not a speech. Somebody asked me the other day, well, when they just talk to somebody, no, that's not a speech. A speech is something you rehearse, you practice, you've got that attention grabber, you got your professional story, you've got a close. You all know what a speech is. So no cheating, no cheating. All right. So again, we are going to come back. We are going to come back to how to speak up and get clients, because that is what we're all about. How to speak up and get clients. Then next week, we're going to talk about how to speak up and make a difference. And then we're going to talk about how to speak up and change lives for a living, and so on and so on and so on. But today, again, the fundamental, and again, I know all of you've seen this. This is not brand new, but well, it might be to Wilma. Wilma hasn't seen it for a little while. But I want you to get it at a deeper level. I want something inside you to rock and go, oh my God, that's what you've been saying all this time. You know? Okay? All right. So let me go over to share my screen. And again, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. So everybody can see that, how to speak up and get clients. Now, one thing that I'm doing too, you want to know my secret? Anybody want to know my secret?
Yes.
Always, yes.
Okay, so because I do what I teach and I teach what I do. So know that my speaking engagement, that's at 6 o'clock tonight, this is the presentation. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. If you have an audience you can practice on. So like I know CJ has a couple of networking groups he runs. Leverage your groups and practice on them and show them what you're going to show your next presentation or your signature talk, right? Take advantage of the groups that you have, even if they've seen it before. I've already told you, look, you've seen this before. You've seen it at $1 Million, you've seen it at Speak Up, Get Clients, but I guarantee you that you will get it at a different level tonight. Why? Because I'm going to talk about it at a different level. This is a brand new day. This is your January 1st, 2021. And it's an exciting time. And here's why it's so more exciting than this time last year, right? This time last year, none of us knew what was ahead of us. Now, had we heard whisperings of COVID? Yes, we did. We heard them in December, as early as December, right? How many heard of them, right? But didn't it seem like it was so far away? Didn't it seem like miles and countries and so far away? It was so far away for me that in February, I bought my ticket to Bali, right? Because I'm taking my mastermind to Bali. February. 2-3 weeks later, boom, everything fell apart. Everything. It was like a domino effect. Boom, 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 boom. So it caught us by surprise. A lot of us, okay, I quickly switched online, but some people didn't. Some people are struggling. In one of my networking groups, I lost a lot of people because they were 50 and over and just didn't want to do the Zoom thing. And in their head, they thought this will be over in a couple of months. We're just going to go back to the restaurant. And guess what? 8 months later, and they are disconnected because they didn't stay connected with us. All of us have stayed connected. Well, except for Welma, and she's reconnecting. But you know, we're in a different place now. We're in a stronger place, a different place. We know what this year is got for us for the most part. We know it has social distancing. We know it has masks. We know it has, we're going to be doing more Zoom calls. We're getting used to Zoom more. We're having fun playing with the backgrounds, putting faces on, hats on. We have adjusted and have adapted and pivoted for the most part. Amen?
Yeah.
So guess what? That puts us in control. That puts us in the driver's seat where March last year, we felt like we weren't in the driver's seat. We felt like we were on a roller coaster, zooming and maybe going to fall off. And, you know, we didn't know what was happening. So this year, we know exactly pretty much what's happening. Now, we also know that COVID is what? Getting closer and closer to our families and loved ones. A year ago, it was so distant. It's like, oh, China, oh, whatever, right? I'm not traveling, right? Oh, so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. Oh, I don't know them, right? Now it's my husband. Hello, right? It's me. Hello. It is getting closer and closer. It is like the enemy getting closer and weakening us and weakening us. And what we have to do is stay together, stay connected as much as we can, continue to pray without ceasing, and know that God's got this, and this is something of the devil. Right?
Absolutely.
It has been said that there's somebody out there, some powers that be, that want to reduce the population by billions. And that they've created this and formed this. If that's true, I don't know. I don't even want to know at this point. All I know is it hit my home and I almost lost my husband. That's how serious it is. So what is that going to make sure that I do? Every single day, I'm going to do as much as I can, as massive action as I can, not only in my business, but in touching the lives of others. Now, there was this woman, and maybe Renee, you probably know her. You know the radio host, Barbara, the big, beautiful Barbara, God, I don't remember her name. Anyway,
Is it Barbara DeAngelis?
No, not Barbara DeAngelis.
Barbara DeAngelis, can you hear me?
No, not her. Anyway, so there's this radio host, and she's pretty famous, right? She's a big, tall woman. And I've seen her around town all the time. She was at, reason why I called on Renee is because she was at the Les Brown's birthday party just recently, right? And she walks in her room, she gets presents. I mean, she's one of those tall women of color, and she just commands presence. Everybody knows her. She died. I got a notice that she died of cancer, not of COVID, of cancer. And I had been putting off calling her up to be on a radio show for over a year. I put it off. I didn't think about it every day, of course. So ladies and gentlemen, this year, make it your mission to never procrastinate, never put anything off, especially when it comes to speaking. Yeah, if someone asks you to speak, yes, you say yes. But I want you to start actively going after those speaking engagements, like as if it's your last day here on earth, because we never know. We've got COVID happening, yet we got people dying of cancer. And supposedly it was misdiagnosed for her, and then when it was diagnosed, she was in stage 4. So we can't let that happen any minute. You've got to embrace every single day like it's your last. And speak to anybody that'll listen. And do your best and just influence people, love on people, thank people, because we just never know. Okay, I guess I better get off my soapbox now. But I hope it drives it home for you, because I'm here for one purpose only, and that's to encourage you to speak and to remind you that you have an important message to share. And I don't know how long we have on this planet to share it. Amen?
Amen. Amen.
All right. So
Amen.
I'm going to,
Amen.
thank you. I'm going to share go back to sharing my screen. All right. So we're going to talk about, again, how to speak up, get clients. This is a presentation you've seen before at different events that I've had. And I've made it by itself because I want to just focus on this. Because Welma's ready to get clients. She said she wants to come and build her business, helping people with burnout. And believe me, people are getting burned out of having to stay at home, and they're getting burned out on this whole COVID business. So think about this, Welma. It's not just job burnout that you're going to be called on to do over this next year. It's COVID burnout. You got that?
Got it.
Okay, good. When I say got it, you say got it, I say good. Got it?
Got it.
Good. That's everybody. Good.
Got it. Got it.
Good.
Got it.
Got it. All right, perfect. Beautiful. All right, so we are going to go and continue. All right, so again, when you're doing your presentation, like I've taught you, you're always going to share your professional story. Now, when we're in this environment, we can use PowerPoint, unlike when we're on stage at some restaurant where we can't. So take advantage of the PowerPoint and re-emphasize anything that you want to that'll set you up to earn you the right to be talking about whatever you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. If everybody know this is my corporate experience, right? I was in this building at one time, and then I was in this building at another time. This is actually downtown Los Angeles. All right. So then I put a little credibility about who I've shared the stages with. There's, of course, a ton more than are on this slide, but I always like to add the latest one is Les Brown. Finally, after all this time, I shared a virtual stage with him and Brian Tracy. They didn't even know I was there. Oh, well. All right, and then I share a little bit about my family. Most of you have met my family before. Zeus and Zoe, eight weeks old, we got these two little cutie pies. And then Zoe, she's taken over the couch. Look at that face. And Zeus is taken over the bed. Now they're not allowed in the bed. We got a brand new bed, so they're not even allowed in the bedroom. And since the pandemic, Zeus has a little drinking problem. Not really. All right, so then you share what you're going to talk about, right? This is the $1 million formula right here. You share what you're going to share, some powerful, actionable information. You're going to, I want to motivate them to speak out of the box when they're in the box, and of course, invite them to learn more, and that's key. So you have 3 outcomes. Give them great information, motivate them, and then invite them to get more. Okay, so why public speaking, right? I'm going to move you guys over here. You're in my way. All right, so I always start out with the why, right? The why, for those of you that have taken my class, is kind of like the problem, pain, and suffering, right? Same kind of thing, right? Why, if I know the why I should do something, I might be more apt to do it, right? So why should you become a public speaker as a business owner and as an entrepreneur? For some people, that's a disconnect, not a connect, because they're thinking public speaking, you know, you're going to go over here and earn $5,000 a speech or $10,000. You're going to work once or twice a year and that's it. No, we're not talking about that kind of a public speaker. We're talking about you speaking in public and speaking your business and only your business. Okay. Number 1 reason, because you have a message to share. You know the mantra. Hi, Benita. I didn't see you come in. All right, so I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to test one of my superstar students, CJ. What is my mantra?
You have a message that only you can share to people who can only hear it from you.
Amen. And what does that mean to you?
That means it means double things for me. It means that there are people who can connect with how I speak and how I teach. And even if they heard the same teaching from someone else, it would mean nothing to them. They go blank. They don't get it. They feel like it's a different language. But when I'm speaking it, they understand. It's clear to them all of a sudden, something they didn't even think they could understand. Now they understand it. And
That's
so,
right.
yeah.
It's as if they had earplugs in, and then when you spoke it, the earplugs are out, and they go, wow. And they could have heard it 1,000,000 trillion times from somebody else. That's why we can't sit back and let somebody else do our speech for us, or let somebody else speak about health, Jackie, when we've got to. Yet Jean talks about health as well, but 2 different messages, 2 different approaches, and 2 different hearings from people, right? So that's why we have to continue. Don't worry about competition. There is none. There's zero competition, because you have a unique message to share that only you can share. And God gave you that message, by the way, and it's a gift. And if you don't deliver it, it will be undelivered for all eternity, right? That's why. And if you're not speaking once a week, then there's people out there that are suffering, waiting for your message. How long are you going to make them suffer? Right? That's on you. That's on us. We each have our own responsibility. All right, let me go back to share. All right, so that's why. Number 1 reason you need to get out there and speak. Now, here's what I love. Nowadays, because of the pandemic, and again, I know sometimes it's hard to see a silver lining, especially like where I'm at with my husband in the hospital, gonna come, very upset, very depressed. It's all I can do, and I can't freaking see him, right? I can't see him. 5 years ago when he got sick and he was put in the hospital, I got to spend every single day with him by his bedside, bringing him whatever he needed, talking to him, playing cards with him. I can't even see him. I can only talk to him on the phone. He's confused. He can't even figure out FaceTime right now. Part of COVID is confusion. Waking up in a hospital, not knowing what day it is and what time it is. Horrible. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about 9/11 and what it did to the travel business. It changed it forever. Yeah, we have to take off our shoes and we have to do this and that. But think about it. How many of you remember when you used to go to a plane and watch people get off, right? You could go and take them to their gate and wave goodbye to them, right? I remember. Wasn't that long ago? That's gone forever, forever. And I believe that's the same with visiting people in the hospital and seeing them and being with their bedside. I believe that this has changed forever. And we will never get to be with our loved ones in the hospital again. And that is a crying shame. And that stinks. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. Time will tell. So don't get sick. That's the moral of it. Don't get sick. Don't go to the hospital. It's a lonely, lonely place. All right. So let's go back to screen. All right. But something wonderful that has happened, at least for a while. And that is there are more places to speak now than ever before in the history of our planet because of the internet and all of that. Now, some of you remember when you didn't have cell phones. We had no communication, right? We'd come home late from a date and we would lie and say our boyfriend's tire went out or something. We had no connection, no accountability like we do now. And now that's different and it's better and we've got better communication. Same now. We can reach, not only do we have more places to speak than ever before, but we can reach different countries. We can go different places. I'm going to Temecula tonight. I don't know about you. I'm going to Temecula and I don't even have to leave my home. Now, do I prefer it? No, I don't. I'd rather go to wine country. Yeah, have a little wine, do a little speech. Yeah, give some hugs to some girlfriends. Yeah, that's what I prefer. But you can't. So now we have to do the best we can. So if we look at the good side, we know that there's lots of places to speak now. We had webinars before, but people didn't do them as often as they're doing them now. Live stream is fairly new. Yes, we've had it for a few years, but guess what? People are using it left and right. And we've got multiple live stream platforms like, what is that one? Barnyard or whatever it's called, StreamYard. And then we've got another one that starts with an R, So we've got lots, and then more and more coming up every single day where you live stream to one and it goes out to all the other platforms. What a way to go. 10 years ago, nobody would have even thought of that as a possibility. Of course, YouTube is getting bigger, stronger than ever before. If you're not doing YouTube videos, you need to start doing them. If you're not doing them, talk to me. I will help you through it. I have been on YouTube for 17 years. Go and see some of my other videos. They're really raw, right? I did them on the little flip camera, but at least I did them. And they're there forever as long as you want them to be there. I could take them down, but I get a kick out of them. I just had someone told me that they were really worried about what they look like and about their raw video until they went and saw my raw videos like from 17 years ago. And they thought, oh, okay, well, that's okay. She can start that way. I can start that way. You know, just get started. Your message is the most important. Don't worry that you don't have all these flashy buttons and ding dongs and subscribe here and goofy, right? Don't have that stop you from getting your message out. Later on, you can add that stuff, but don't let it prevent you from speaking your message. This is what you have right now. This is what you can count on right here. God gave you your mouth and he gave you your message from the heart, the head, wherever it is. And that's all you have to worry about. All the other stuff will fall in place or it won't be important. Zoom meetings, of course, we've seen almost every networking meeting now is a Zoom meeting. And if you don't have enough to go to, let me know. I will send you to several. And of course, online networking, mastermind meetings are held. I used to hold my mastermind meetings live, and now they're all online. And hopefully one day we'll be able to go live again. But I have found that there's a lot more productivity putting my classes, because my 4-day speaker training intensive, I could cut out one full day, because what we would do is we would go out for 2-hour lunches. We would have 45-minute breaks. And that's just what happens when you get people together and they're being vulnerable and they're getting to know each other and all of that. And Dr. Renee's been to my 4-day. She even came to my house and made a big meal, chef meal for all of us. And no, we can't do that again right away. And that was unique, but we had a lot of time that was spent not in training, but in socializing. Well, when you do it online, you don't have that. All right, and of course, podcasts, radio shows, virtual seminars, online programs. These are ones that you film ahead of time and then let them run. You know, they can also be membership sites. And there's probably several that aren't even on here. And if you see some that aren't on here, go ahead and put it in the chat. I just happen to run out of room on this slide. Okay, so why add public speaking to my business? You know why you need to speak, but why add it to my business? Some of you know Bethany Sunny, and she says you will get more clients, more business, and make a bigger impact on the world by taking my training versus any other in the market. I mean, that's a pretty good testimony. Wouldn't you agree? But here's why I believe you need to be out there and speaking, because visibility is the key to selling. Nobody knows, if nobody knows you and what you do, they're not going to hire you. And I know that sounds like common sense, but I have people that they're like, well, I hung out my shingle, I did a couple of Facebook posts, and I'm not getting any clients. Well, it takes a lot more than that. A lot more. It used to be in the old days, you could have a brick and mortar, hang out a sign, and you would get business. But those are called the old days for a reason. It's not how it works anymore, even with a brick and mortar business. There's got to be a buzz. There's got to be activity. There's got to be action taken consistently to get the business and to gain the fame that you need in order for people to want to come and talk to you and be with you and coach with you, etc. All right, so here's Adrienne. Now, Adrienne is a kitchen and bath designer. So she learned my system and did a 5-minute speech, and she landed one kitchen design only for $5,000. And this was in the time in 2009 when we had another big crash, right? 5 minutes, $5,000. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty good return on her time and the investment. So building your business is key. Building your business with speaking is what we've been talking about. It's what I always talk about. Sure, I talk about making a difference here and there, and you will, but really you want to build your business. When you build your business, you'll have plenty of time to go to other organizations and speak and make a difference in the hearts and the lives of others. But if you're a good business person, whatever it is you do will make a big impact in someone's life anyway. All right, Susanna Rhodes. Susanna Rhodes is a reverse mortgage lender, and she said her business grew by 43% after working with me. And what did we do? We added seminars, we added lunch and learns. That's all we added to what she already was doing. Now she's still doing them, but she's doing them, of course, virtually and online. But now she doesn't have to pay for the lunch. She still makes some lunch and learns, but she doesn't have to pay for the lunch, and she still gets people to come, and she still closes them into reverse mortgage. Okay, because she's inviting the right people, right? If you want a reverse mortgage, there's a couple things you have to consider. One is 62 and older, and you have to own 50% of your home. So as long as she invites those people, those candidates, she gets business. You have to know your target market. All right, but the bottom line is if you want more, to make more, like a 6-7 figure, if you want to make more money, you've got to get in front of more people. This is the secret sauce, ladies and gentlemen. It is no weirder than this. This is it. If you just remember one thing from today, this is it. If you want more money, get in front of more people. That is it. Easy peasy. Okay, so again, we're going to spell out leads. This is a reminder for most of you, so I want to go through it relatively quickly. But remember, who could tell me what the L is for? L? Just unmute and shout it out. Well, then I'm glad we're redoing this if you don't remember. This is my signature talk. This is one of the talks they give over and over and over. All right, so the L is for leverage, remember? Leverage. Leverage. So how do we leverage speaking? Well, remember we imagined speaking, and most of you had this in mind last week when you put together your plan. But you want to speak at least what? Once a week. We talked about this. Once a week, 4 speeches. Now, I'm not talking about your podcast. I'm not talking about this passionately speaking. I'm talking about other speaking engagements, because you need to get in front of new, fresh faces every single week. You know, the old faces are great, but you want to consistently bring in new blood and new people that didn't know you, that want to know you. So consistently bringing in new people. So find those new speaking engagements. I gave you a whole list of possibilities. So you want to start finding those. And then at an average size of 25, that still is about an average, anywhere from like 15 to maybe 30. Now you'll have some groups that maybe have more, but the average is 25, plus it's easier for us to calculate. So 25 people times 4 times a month is 100 people. Times that times 10 months, just for the ease of calculation, 10 times 100 per month, that's 1,000 new people at the end of the year that now know you that didn't know you. Now, how do you increase this number? By increasing these numbers. Either more times per week, so instead of 4, maybe it's 6. Instead of 25, maybe it's 100 or 50. That's how you increase this number. It's just a numbers game. Got it? Got it?
Got it.
Good. Thank you, Ardina.
Got it.
Good. All right, now, imagine you're going to get some hot leads from that. You're not just going to speak and get nothing out of it, or you're not doing it right. So you could get about average of 5. So 5 times 4, the 4 speaking engagements, that's 20. 20 times 10 months, that's 200 hot leads. That's 200 people that have said, you know what, CJ, I think I need you to look at my website. I think I need a new website. Dr. Renee, I'm ready for a relationship. Jackie, I'm ready to get healthy. These are people that came to you and said that. Now, how do you do that? I'm going to show you in a minute a couple ways you can do that virtually. And then, of course, it's up to you, whatever you do to close for the business. Whether you're doing strategy sessions, phone calls, presentations, whatever it is, this is you. But I could say on average, you could close about 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times the 10 months is 120 brand new clients every single year or more. Most of you haven't had that many clients in probably the beginning of your business. It is possible, right? Some of you don't get clients because you don't have a team around you. Well, guess what? If this is the kind of problem you have, you'll build a team, believe me. All right, so 100 new clients per year. What is one client worth to you? What's that one client worth to you? Is it 1,000? Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? What about the life of the client? Right now, this is Pete. Pete did a 30-minute speech. He got 8 new tax clients worth $750 each, which is just in that 1 year is $6,000. He got 2 bookkeeping clients, which average about $1,680 per month times 12 months. That's over $20,000 per year times 2 of them. And that's $46,000 in one speech. Now you add both of those together and voila, $52,320. Now you're not going to get that kind of money in a paid speech. Not unless you're the guy with no arms and no legs, or a celebrity, or an athlete, or the woman who went up in the space shuttle. You're just not going to get it. Plus the life of the client. Now, I only mentioned what? I mentioned 1 year here, and I mentioned 1 year here, but what about the life? I mean, we're not going to get a new tax person every single year, right? You're going to keep the same tax person. This number could only go up. This number can only go up, right? Okay, Dr. Sean, she did a 45-minute speech, landed 1 client for $10,000, and then the client re-upped it for another $10,000. So one little speech for 45 minutes is worth $20,000, and that client will probably re-up again. This is John, and it works for millennials too. So John came to me, had some training because he wanted to do something different, get out there and do lives. He wanted to show his homes, doing the live stream. He did, and now he sells 1 home a month. It's unheard of, especially now. Now he's like averaging about 2 because there's so many people looking to get out of California, looking to sell their homes, looking to, buy new homes, relocate. It's crazy out there. There's not enough inventory. All right, and this is Gail. I think you've heard Gail before.
Hi, my name is Gail Gajardo, and I took Arvee's class, and oh my gosh, my life has been transformed. Using the simple math equation that she shows us on how many presentations to do per week and translate it to how many clients and leads that it generates and how much each client is worth, I am now making $60,000 a month. And I'm going to continue to be her student, and I'm so excited, and I just want to let you guys know this really works. Thank you.
Okay, so make sure you're getting some video testimonials and putting them on your PowerPoint. They're powerful. All right, so I'm just going to go through the rest of this pretty quickly because I want to leave a little Q&A. Again, speaking works because it positions you as an expert in your field. It works when you're in front of the right target market. Just like I said, Susanna, she picked the people that were over 62 that owned 50% of her home. And now she's got a captive audience, ideal audience. She's got her fantasy client, all of it, right? And she doesn't have to mess around with other people that don't apply. Great way to build your database still, and I'm going to show you how in a moment, and or your text list. All right, so this is where we're going to end it, but because it's really important, how do you share, how do you build up your database in an environment like this? It used to be so easy when we would have a gift and we would have a bag and we would collect business cards and we would walk away with 100% of the business cards. It doesn't work like that anymore. It is very challenging to get people to take action. So now, do I sound okay?
Yes, you do.
Okay, because I'm not using my microphone. And so I was wondering if I should use it. I have so many microphones. I'm not using them, because I want to just, use them for podcasting and stuff like that. But I wasn't sure if I should use one for tonight or not.
You sound fine.
I sound fine, good.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you. So share a link to a free download, right? You could send them to your website. You can have a special link. You could put it in the chat, put it on your PowerPoint. Couple ways, I would do both. Virtual raffle, this will take place as a raffle in the bag, but you have to tell people to email you and you still will not get 100%, but you will get more than if you share a link. You will get more, especially the bigger the prize. So if the prize is like $200, you're going to get a lot more emails than if the prize was $5 Starbucks. Just keep that in mind. The higher the price, the more signups. And then you have them go to your email, and then right there, you can flip this and pick a winner. Just know it takes a few moments for the emails to come through everywhere they have to come through. So you're going to have to stall for some time. But that's one of the best ones. And then number 3, invite them to email you and request a gift. So I do this for my book. If you want a free PDF copy of my book, email me. Here's my email in the chat. All right. So do something. Just because we're in the virtual world doesn't mean that you can't collect contact information. It's just a little more challenging, and you won't be able to collect as much as you would otherwise. And of course, the last, oh yes, Benita.
Why do you get more response with an email than a link?
No, you get more response with a free gift and picky.
Oh, I heard you wrong. Okay.
I'm sorry if I said that. Yeah, the middle one, you'll get the most than these two. Right? Now, if I was to put it in order, I would say the second one is 1, the third one is 2, and the first one is the last one. For some reason, people don't want to go to links. They would much rather personally email me and say, hey, I'll take a PDF because it's private and everything else. Plus, you know about it, right? So unless you get notified that someone downloaded your free gift, you may not know. So I want to be notified. So I usually use 2 or 3. I've been after some testing. And then the last one, of course, is texting. If you have some sort of a text service, that's a great way to start building your text following. Now, you don't want to do all of them, especially in a short amount of time. Just pick one close. Don't try to do them all. All right, so that's what I have for you tonight. Was that a good refresh for some of you?
Very good.
Maybe a motivator for others?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, good motivator. Millions. Oh, there's Jean. Look at Jean. Oh my God, you look like a movie star. Oh my God, look at you. We haven't seen Jean for several weeks, maybe even months, but look at your hair. It's
Jean, you're muted if you
perfect.
want to say hi. Unmute.
Unmute, Jean.
Yes. Hello to everyone. Just this is what family changes and that type thing. It's wonderful to be here. Hi, everyone, all new people and others have been here for a while.
It's
Good to
to
see
have you
everyone.
here. You look great.
you.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Okay, good. We only have about 5 minutes. So are there any questions about anything that we covered so far today?
Arvee, I have a question. What was the S for leads?
The S in leads is for sizzling hot. I stopped it before we got there.
Okay, got it.
Sizzling hot.
Arvee,
Do that next time.
Thank you.
Arvee,
Yes, Dr. Renee.
hi, honey. I'm praying for Michael, okay? Jim and I are praying for him that he gets home like by tomorrow or Thursday, right away.
Yeah. And just that he has patience while he's in there right now and doesn't get depressed. I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't moved in 5 days. I
Wow.
mean, not even to get up to go anywhere. So he's going to be stiff as can be when he comes home.
He probably needs a massage or something on his back or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
if he's got COVID, I can't send him anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to do the massaging.
Arvee, I gotta run, honey. I have
Okay, Betty. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Nick.
Great job. Thank you. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
See you next week.
Bye.
Okay, see you next week. Bye, bye, everybody. Bye, CJ. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Arvee.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
sweetie.
Okay. Any questions before we end our call today?
I've got a question, Arvee.
Yeah.
If I want to, what kind of a free gift would I give for event planners?
For what?
If I wanted to target event planners, what kind of a free gift or lead would I have?
Well, you could always, I would do something that you can do online. So if you had like an article, like the benefits of having a ventriloquist at your event and key benefits, you know, how it uplifts people and blah, 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 so that it's something directly for the event planner, they would be more apt to grab it.
Okay, that's an idea.
If I could share, that made me think like a guide, like how to choose the entertainment for your event,
Oh,
That would work.
or entertainer, or edutainer, as the case may be.
Yeah.
choose.
Well, or you can even do a little competitive thing, like ventriloquist versus magic show,
Huh.
right? Because magic shows are really popular in the online world now, but you're different, you're new. And so you might have to like kind of justify the benefit. I'd say the benefits of having a ventriloquist over any other type of entertainment.
Not your usual talking head.
Now you're there, you go. You could use that.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Jean, did you have something? You're getting younger and younger, Jean.
I was just wondering, I know that most event planners have a repertoire of contacts, but what about, as you were saying, getting a little edgy and presenting resources, especially if you bring it out in your speech. So different resources, centers that they can do events at, or blah, 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 and have, you know, contacts for those. But you have to do some research. You have to do a little research on that one. But at least you could direct them to that. That's a gift as well. So if you had, I have some in my head because I've used a lot of them, but if you had resources in a certain area for different areas, so you have some people that are maybe in whatever county, Orange County, or even in Riverside or whatever, these different counties, you could put together lists. If you want a list for different areas, please contact me, because I have a great list compiled that will give you some ways, some avenues that you can use your events there. Maybe you know, use that, right?
Well, whatever you give, I would give it to where it benefited your products and services. So it's got to be why they should pick you over any other entertainment, the advantage,
Like,
the benefit.
as you
'Cause you're
said,
selling yourself. Okay, we have time for just about one more question before I got to scoot and get ready for my next speaking engagement. I have dogs to feed. I have, yes, Jackie.
Have you addressed somewhere in all that you've done specifically how to do Facebook Lives from like a business page and a group page and all that?
No, other than my Facebook Live class, which I didn't, but we can do that next week.
Yeah, I've taken that. I'm just having trouble figuring it out. I made that commitment and I YouTubed how to do it, and I'm still like, what?
So what in particular are you having trouble with?
Finding the buttons to push on Facebook on my business page.
To share?
Yeah, to start the video.
Oh, to start the video, start the live.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll cover it next meeting.
Okay, thank you so much.
Anybody else want to know more about Facebook Live? Yeah, okay,
Yes,
we'll do that
definitely.
next week. Okay, good. All right.
Perfect. Well, God bless you as you struggle with this, and our prayers will be with you.
I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Sure,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that. All right, everyone. Well, we'll see you next week. I want you to get out there and at least try to do one speaking engagement before next week. All right, either it can be a live or it could be at an event or an interview or a podcast, any of it. All right, who's in?
I'm in.
Awesome, good. All right, we look forward to hearing the report next week. All right, if you need anything,
Bye-bye.
if you need, what, Janine? I'm sorry.
No, nothing.
Okay, good. All right, so again, get out there this week and speak somewhere. And remember, when you do speak, to always speak with passion. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night,
Bye.
Arvee.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Arvee, stay on. For
Yes,
just-
Janine, you had something?
Just stay on for a second, okay?
Oh, sure.
I gotta tell you something.
Okay. All right, gorgeous. Bye, Janine.
Trying to get out.
Just end over in the right-hand side.
I pushed that leave twice and it didn't.
No, not the leave, the end. Is it
Oh.
leave or is it end?
Well, it's end and then it's leave. Or no,
Yeah.
it's leave and then it's end. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Hi, hug.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. Hey, just real quick, I want to tell you something for Michael. When you were talking about how he's kind of confused and stuff like that. So years ago, I studied with this lady that did neurology stuff and brain rehab. And she said that when elderly people like fall or are sick and they're immobile in bed for by the third day, they start losing their neurology.
Oh my.
That's why, you know, people will say, oh, my mom was in the hospital. She came out. She was never right since. And there's an easy thing to do about this. And that is if they're able, okay.
Wait a minute.